Hello and welcome to GG Weekend Watch, kindly sponsored by BetMGM with myself, Kate, Tracey, Andrew Mount. Now, we don't have Dave Young this week, but of course, our able deputy, our Divock Origi, is here. Matty Sutcliffe is stepping into the hot seat then, so great to have you back with us, Matty. And no pressure, but you're joining Andrew, who has been in flying form. So before we get into the action at Haydock, Goodwood, and of course the Irish 2000 Guineas then from the Curragh, we had better remind you of just how it went last week, because Andrew had, starting off with elite status at 13-2 then as the SP. Carry the one though, 33-1 now. I thought you were mad. Might still do, but still though, the money is in the bank, so that's all that we care about. SP of 22-1 in the end for Carry the One. King's Gambit 7-2. Witch Hunt finished third then at 22-1 in the Lockinge. And Dave, he had King's Gambit as well, 7-2. Relief Rally, who finished second, 3-1 then for his nap, and of course finished second to Andrew Sitt, elite status in the listed Carnarvon Stakes at Newbury. So well done all around then, Andrew, for that. Hopefully it can continue this weekend, and we will begin at Haydock with the Silver Bowl Handicap, a heritage handicap for 3-year-olds over 1 mile, 1:15. So Matty, welcome back, and do you want to kickstart us?
Yeah, I have once said delight to be back. Got some serious making up to Andrew last week. I got off my cap to Mr. Mount, who was nap and fox, but he chinned my selection, which I'm not bitter about whatsoever. Anyway, on to Haydock. Yeah, it's a competitive renewal of the Silver Bowl. 5 of the last 9 winners were last time out winners. Horses who carried 8 stone 6 particularly fare well, which isn't as much of a news here, given there's only 2 that don't carry 86. And horses who start their career over 5 or 6 furlongs have a good record as well. So progressive 3-year-old stepping up in distance is kind of what you want to look at. And it's a bit boring, but I've backed the favourite Nellie Laylax, put him off my column yesterday. Nice about the favouritism. Took a course and distance handicap last time out on soft ground. Arguably favoured by your freebie on the front end, but probably value for margin and value for the margin, given the kind of wandered around in the final furlong when the second came when they went again. So I think Nellie Laylax can go well, taking his course handicap record to 3 from 3. Though I would just like to have another saver on a Can Do No More, who might be suited by being held up here, just in case there's a bit of a pace collapse, as it can be on soft ground at Haydock. One with any amount in hand last time out over course and distance, another last time out winner. And on 2-year-old form, could be well handicapped off a mark of 8-1. £5 swinging the work Nellie Laylax from the EBF final at York last season. And so it could be favoured from Brea. So I'll go with Nellie Laylax, but saver on Can Do No More.
Okay, but having a saver though, all the same, but Nellie Laylax as the main play. Each way plus race, 4 places on offer with BetMGM. Right, Andrew, you're just going to have to take this away now, because after last week, goodness me, who knows where we're going?
Well, even a blind squirrel finds the odd nut. So, yeah, I'll probably lay everything this week. It looks a lot tougher than last week. There's some interesting stats for this race. 8 of the last 10 winners were from the front 3 in the market, so it often goes to form. Last time out, winners have got a good record, winning 6 from 10. And horses who started favourite last time out, regardless of where they finished, are 5 winners from 20 in the last 10 years, a profit of £8.50. And quite a few winners of this race were stepping up from 7 furlongs, so don't let that put you off if they haven't run over a mile before. One on my short list is Matty's pick, Nellie Laylax. It's all down to the ground, I think, with him. 6 runs on officially, soft or heavy going, 4 wins and a couple of fourths. The first fourth when doing better the far side group at Doncaster when all the action was down the centre, and the other went 4th of 16 at York when doing a little bit too much too soon, doing second best in the prominent races when it helped to come from off the pace. I'm going to go with one of my tracker horses, so that's Cerulean Bay for David O'Mara. Now, this one ran over course and distance last time, finishing 3rd to Silent Move, who reopposes today. Paid to be on the front end that day. The winner was made all the running, caught a bit of an upset, 28-1. The runner-up was up there throughout, whereas Cerulean Bay did best of the closes in 3rd. It was well back that day. It's got form on softer going. so won't be inconvenienced by the recent rain. And going through the pace angles in this race, there's an awful lot of pace here, and I thought they might set it up nicely for Cerulean Bay, who's around about 12 or 14 to 1. I thought he could be the each-way pick. And he's by New Bay, whose progeny have got an incredible record on the back of a top 3 finish. They always seem to hold their form well. You make a fortune just backing them if they finish first, second, or third last time out. So yeah, Cerulean Bay each way for me. That'll do, I think, to kick off with.
To kick us off then with Cerulean Bay, 14 to 1 shot for David O'Mara and Richard Kingscote. But as I say, this is an each way plus race. 4 places on offer then for our opening contest. That is the 115 at Haydock. On to our next race, which comes up at Goodwood at 1:30. A handicap for 3-year-olds over 7 furlongs. So Andrew, 7 furlong specialists to the 4 again. Doesn't make it that much easier to solve though. 6 to 1 the field. 5 places for another each way plus race. So we're not exactly starting with easy contests.
Yeah, tricky one. I was all set to tip Curragh, the 6 to 1 favourite, trained by Rafe Beckett, because he's been gelded since we last saw him. That's a positive angle for Beckett runners in handicaps. Since 2013, 15 winners from 65 bets, profit of over £26, which exceeds expectations. However, he's in stall 9, and if you look at the draw stats for this race, they're pretty persuasive. Stalls 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 have housed 9 of the last 10 winners. If you just bet a horse drawn 5 or lower who finished in the top 3 last time out, you'd have bet 8 of the last 10 winners from 25 bets and made a profit of 50 quid. Now, if you sort it by draw, you've got horses like the Camden Colt, Newsreader, Robbo, Shabab Storm, Gushing Gold. 4 of those were in the top 3 last time out, but 3 of them like to go forward. And I thought they might just set it up for Shabab Storm for the Andrew Balding yard, the 7 to 1 second favourite. Now, he was well beaten on his return at Newbury, but that was in Terrab's race where they went off way too quick. Basically, there was a duel between Get the Music On and Shabab Storm, and they finished 6th and 7th. The other prominent race at Telemark finished 8th, and basically had to come from off the pace. So safe to put a line through that. He's then gone to Chester, run a cracker, well back 6s into 7 to 2 favouritism, just got chinned in the field of 14. He's won here at Goodwood on soft ground. I thought stepping back up to 7 furlongs would go to suit. He's nicely drawn. He's going to get a toe in it towards that inside rail. And I thought Shabab Storm was a solid each way bet here.
Yes, definitely so. 7 to 1 shot as well then for Andrew Balding and Harry Davies for Andrew. Massey, who did you like?
Yeah, Andrew has touched on the draw. 6 of the last 10 drawn in stall 3 or lower have won this race. And the one that you mentioned, the Camden Colt, I thought had a great chance. Richard Hannon's won this race in 2019 and 2016. Both horses coming from defeats in the Rolling Mile, including one dropping down from a mile. So the Camden Colt was of interest. Recent form worked out well. 6 from last time out. Scouse has won a Rolling Mile handicap. Now rated £7 higher. And on the penultimate run as well, both the 3rd and the 5th have gone in since. So I think the mark of 89 looks workable. And if he does break well, he gets to lose on the front end from stall 1. The dropping trip looking suitable. It could go well. Algebra Cancy dropped up as well, so no Sean Levy this time. But he is profitable to follow for Richard Hannon all the time. I think £23.81 pence to £1 level stake. So I'll go with Camden Colt.
Nice big price one even there for you as well. 16 to 1. I know that there is some rogue trader that is still quite big then with this horse, but waiting for that to be re-established. But with BetMGM, he's a 16 to 1 shot with those extra places on offer then in the 130 at Goodwood. Right, we move back to Haydock now for the 150. The Group 2 Temple Stakes, 3-year-olds and over 5 furlongs. Living the Dream heads away at 9 to 2. Of course, the Australian mare then comes over as for Vadream, who will presumably love the ground that we're expecting we're going to get then, Massey. But how are you sort of looking at some of these Haydock races in terms of ground, and therefore how does that translate to this race?
Yeah, it's an interesting one. The last 2 years, the near side has been favourable, but between 2021 and 2013, the middle to far side has been favourable. You know, there's literally nothing coming up the near side whatsoever. So what they do follow that was the near side numbers would be favourable. But the prominent races all drawn out across the track. You've got Living the Dream in 3, that's 4 in 7. I presume she'll go forward. The Australian one, Beautiful Diamond in 9, and Equality in 1. So you have got prominent races across the track. And it might be one of those races where the horses who prefer to kind of sit behind the leaders or in midfield just kind of ping down the middle and just see which way the ground's riding and pick a side in the closing stages. So I have gone 7 questions. I was a winner for the column last time out. And I don't think there's much fluke about that either. I think the pieces really sharpened him up. Travelled strongly. Didn't used to find much in the closing stage of the race, but this time was with the cheek pieces attached, really stuck on gamely. So I don't think there was much fluke about that, and I do think the race might set up for him, and I'll stick with him again.
Okay, stick with him again and to uphold that form with Vadream, who he beat ahead into second in the Group 3 Palace House Stakes last time out. So Matty doesn't think that was a fluke, but he's still 6-1 then for this one. Andrew, who are you siding with?
Yeah, the draw that Matty touched on will be fascinating. Last year on Good to Firm Ground, the 4 highest drawn horses in a 13-runner field finished 1, 2, 3, 4, hugging the standside rail. If you were down the middle and didn't have a prayer, that race threw up lots of future winners from the low draws who'd seemingly disappointed. Living the Dream had a good draw, went 3rd last year on his preferred fast ground, and the softer ground as a worry. He has won on sort of soft ground, but generally at a lower level, and his trainers on record is saying that if it's soft ground, it's one of the early races when it's still fresh, he's okay, but as soon as he gets tacky, it's a problem. And of course, with it being raced on Friday, it might not be ideal for him by the time of this race. I'm just going to go with the soft ground horse in the race, which is Vadream for Charlie Fellows, assuming it's not going to dry out too much and still will be genuinely soft. The last time he had 5 furlongs on soft ground, he was a winner of the Palace House Stakes last season. He's been running well this term on officially good ground, which was too quick for her, I should say, not for him, I beg your pardon. So yeah, I'll go for Vadream in the hope that the draw and stall 8 of 10 might be an advantage. Difficult to know what to make of the Aussie horse though, but a fascinating contender.
Yeah, fascinating contender, but we have seen an Aussie horse disappointing then at Haydock en route to go to Royal Ascot only as far as last year, actually, wasn't it? So, yeah, whether or not that mare has bigger targets, of course, down the line and how she's going to take to Haydock as well. Living the Dream, I agree with the pair of you two, where I'm slightly concerned about the ground for him, for all that he has that softer ground form to his name, but like you both said, that was at a lower level then. And of course, he's got a very long season again in mind for him, hopefully looking ahead to some more jet setting around the world adventures towards the end of the year. And so I was also looking away from those two, heading the way for all that. I don't think our sprinters are fantastic, so naturally an Aussie comes into the reckoning, but that price for me just doesn't interest me for her. So Vadream for me as well. I love this mare. I sided eventually then with her last time out. I sort of did the whole run around then with her for the Palace House Stakes. I was with her, then I went against her, came back for a little bit then for her, and I thought she ran a blinder considering the ground was seemingly not to see her at her best, finishing behind Matty's selection 7 questions, who did take well to the cheap pieces there and for the weight concessions that he was getting. But Vadream, just feel more confident that we know where we are with her, and from how she fared at around this time last year in comparison to the tough task she was facing towards the duration of the season, I thought that now was still the time to catch her. And with a few of these having other prospects then down the line, I know it's Group 2, sounds a silly thing to say, but I thought that the Dream would be the way to go. Now, Goodwood, the Height of Fashion Stakes for the this is a listed contest for the 3-year-olds over 10 furlongs at 205. Again, Andrew, these are not getting much easier, so over to you.
Yeah, I thought you were going to say talking of the height of fashion.
Yeah, talking of, I was thinking, I thought it's too obvious. It's way too obvious.
It's obviously taking the mickey though. That's yeah.
Never.
Interesting race this. We've had the occasional shock result at 25-1 ad infinitum a few years ago, although he's sort of ridden by Jamie Spencer, who is excelled around Goodwood when it's soft and generally sort of sits out the back and then comes through late. But there was an interesting angle in this race based on the class the contenders raced in the last time out. Those who ran in class 4 or lower have done incredibly well, because I went through this and I thought, well, a lot of these you're getting, what trip they're going to need, particularly the reappearing ones like the sort of local arms. I mean, Where I Want to Be was the winner at Nottingham the last time we saw her, but that race hasn't worked out well. She's probably only priced up at 12-1 because she's trained by Rafe Beckett. And I kept coming back to Lava Stream for David O'Mara and Charles Bishop. Now, she's improved for the application of a hood. She ran over a mile at the first in it for the first time last September. stayed on well, raced keenly in a small field, and then the following month was a winner at Ayr over a mile on heavy ground, and then reappearing this year, just a 4-runner field at Doncaster, and has won extremely comfortably. Stepping up to 10 furlongs should suit. She's by 2 darn hot, so I mean, ideally, if you choose the ground, you go for heavy. It's not going to be that soft by the looks of it, but any rain won't inconvenience her. And I say seven of the last 10 winners of this race ran in class 4 or 5 company last time out. And if you bet the low level horses, you finished in the top 4 last time as well. Combine those 2 angles, it's 7 winners from 37 bets, profit of £15.48. So don't be put off by the fact she's rated 79 and she's stepping up in grade. We saw that at York, of course, sort of listed group races for fillies can often be won by a horse who's stepping markedly up in grade. And I think she could go well here, particularly if there's more rain. 20 to 1 or thereabouts for Lava Stream.
Yeah, big price in here. Only one price that is bigger than her. That's Ambiente Amigo. So Lava Stream, big price for Andrew in the Height of Fashion Stakes. So Matthew, nice little link for you as well there.
Yeah, I won't be so sure about that now. I'm with Andrew here with that Lava Stream. All but one renewal was won by a hold-up horse as well this race. And now you've got, I think the top 7 in the market were all prominent last time out. So you're kind of guaranteed for a decent clip. And I think it was only Queen of Atlantis and Lava Stream who like to be held up and are guaranteed to be held up. So you probably play both of those each way and you probably get something back. And I know she's rated 79, but Andrew's touching it there. I think, Jem, was it last season, Mystic Pearl won for William Haggis. I think she was rated something like, I think she was rated 78 and was beat a 112 rated mare, something like that. So, you know, these fillies and mares can kind of progress at different rates and not, you know, the ones towards the higher end of the weight, so quite well we know where they are, they can have an off day. So I won't be, as Andrew said, I won't be put off by the rating whatsoever. Progressing nicely, obviously by 2 down hot. Related to the yards, Iron Lion as well, who won over 1 mile 4 early this month. So step up and trip should suit as well. And 2 down hot, he's doing quite well with fillies too. And I think she'll progress well and she'll be suited by the held up ride in rear.
Of all the horses that I did not expect the pair of you to be agreeing on, it was a 25 to 1 shot Lava Stream. But in the Height of Fashion Stakes, I don't know if I've said that name of that race quite enough yet. The listed race, though, 205 at Goodwood. Right, we're back to Haydock again now for the Group 2 Sandy Lane Stakes for the 3-year-olds over 6 furlongs at 225. And Van Dijk, we get to see him back out again here, but he's got a fair few likeable 3-year-olds to take him on then over the 6 furlong trip. Matty, so is it as simple as Van Dijk just goes and blitzes them here, or what was the play?
Yeah, on ratings, you'd think so, wouldn't you? But I would be concerned that no winner in the last decade of this race has come fresh as one fresh, which is an angle just to take him on. I thought Ornay was interesting dropping down distance. He's looked quite speedy for the Gosdens. Inisherin travelled well in the Guineas before weakening late on. And then you have Little Big Bear did the same thing last season after the Guineas, dropped down in trip and then won the Sandy Lane Stakes. And Inisherin, Harper went to Cape Byron, Fulborough at Cape Byron, won the Victoria Cup over 6 on his first start as a 5-year-old. So Inisherin's interesting, but by Shamadel out of Tearfield on mare, I'm not entirely sure that the soft, heavy ground would suit. So I kind of pass that on that basis. Pandora's Princess, another one on a roll. Ground potentially concerning. I thought Airman for Richard Farney was quite smart. Gave £10 when 88 rated, the 88 rated favourite last time out. Should love the conditions. So I did like Airman at a price. And then Puro Sandy as well for Andrew Balding. The Pavilion Stakes has often been a good point of this contest. And it was third behind Chassor in the race and stall 1. And Smart Forms 2 last season, I think he'll love the ground. I think he's probably at a price, an each way price, one of the most solid ones to take on Van Dijk. So I've back the whole field, but I'll stick with Puro Sandia.
Oh, I'm so pleased you came down on him in the end, though, because he was I say the each way alternative. Hopefully, then we still get the full field of runners that I am getting those extra 2 points on offer, because Van Dijk, I think the word of this horse. I think he's going to go and blitz them in. That is fascinating, though, for the fresh angle and the reappearance angle for horses that Matty was touching upon there for Van Dijk, and an excuse to take him on. I don't really want to, because I just think he's so superior over these, but Puro Sangue was the each way alternative for me, with that course win, obviously on his debut to his name as well. That was over the 5. And that reappearance run, we just tend to expect Andrew Balding's horses to come forwards from their reappearance runs anyway. And I thought that was absolutely fine for him. He just looked to blow up as much as anything else. Behind just saw a day in Devon didn't exactly do much damage to that form whatsoever by finishing 3rd in the Carnarvon Stakes behind Elite Status and Relief Rally anyway. So that form does look good for the Group 3 grade in that. And just a likeable horse, has won on soft ground as well. Conditions won't phase him, and he is experienced then at this sort of a level. So yeah, I'm pleased that Matty's gone with him. But Andrew, who did you like?
Yeah, tricky one. I mean, just on bare form, Van Dijk is hard to oppose, although the lack of a run is interesting and makes you want to sort of seek out an each way alternative. Innis Sharon's was interesting, dropping back in trip. I thought after that 6 in the 2000 in the 2000 Guineas. Puro Sangway wasn't best drawn, I thought, when 3rd to Chassora Ascot. I think the winner, the 2nd, the 4th all came from sort of stall 7 or above in a 10-runner field. Puro Sangway at stall 1, although the winner did come even wider. Esquire was half interesting if it stays genuinely soft or softer. 2nd by a neck to Big F's, and a York listed win from 2 runs on soft ground, but those were at 5 furlongs, and there is a worry about the extra furlong here. But I'm going to come down to a funny one, which was Alaskan Gold each way, around about 50 to 1 for Carl Burke, who my pet theory basically is that he needs a flat track. You look at his debut effort; he was a 12 to 1 shot at Nottingham, 6 furlongs, flat track, good to soft ground. So he finished 3rd to Van Dijk when running green. Obviously needed the experience. Perhaps wasn't suited by Goodwood's undulations so much next time out. And when he first ran at Newmarket in Group 3 company last season, he failed to handle the dip and was outpaced back at 5 furlongs, became unbalanced. Didn't run badly, 7th of 13. He was an 18 to 1 shot. Then he's gone to Donny and run 2nd to Ballymount Boyd, finishing 2nd by half a length at 16 to 1, albeit the winner won with a bit more in hand than the margin. And then that 5th to Esquire, we've only beaten a length and a half. Flat track, perhaps wasn't ideally suited by 7 furlongs. Then last time he's gone to Newmarket again, not handled the dip. So I just thought a flat track, 6 furlongs, softish ground. Alaskan Gold probably doesn't deserve to be 50 to 1 given his place behind Van Dijk previously. So I thought back him each way and maybe have or back him in the without the favourite market.
Yeah, either way, you're going to be getting a decent price about him all the same, but 50 to 1 is actual price. And Alaskan Gold as the outsider of the field for Colbert and Clifford Lee in the Sandy Lane Stakes at Haydock. Right, we switch over to York now, welcoming in another track. 0 to 105 handicap, 3 rods and over, 5 furlongs. So, Andrew, we've got speedsters to the 4 again here. Corker 6 to 1 heading the way. So, again, wide open race. So, who are we siding with?
I think Corker is a poor favourite. One, he's badly drawn on all recent evidence at York, and he's stalled 10 of 13. And I've got a theory that he's best in small fields. 5 of his 6 wins have come in single figure lineups. The other one in the field of 15 when he's just in a smaller group on the far side. That was here at York. So I'd be quite happy to take on Corker. I'm just splitting it by draw and going through it, and I thought the interesting one was Vintage Claret, who ran a good race at York last time, coming out of stall 2 here. I think his 3 runs at York in handicap company below 6 furlongs have all produced good efforts. 1st, 2nd, and a 6th at 20 went 3rd best of his group. Our old friend Thunderbird Nymphadora in stall 3, although what he's done this season, perhaps you don't want to be on. Copper Knight at the age. We talk a lot about these older sprinters, but at some point they're going to be in decline. I mean, people keep backing Summergan this season, but he is 10 now. And although I still think he might pop up in August, you've got to think that at some point age is going to catch up with him. Although you're obviously saying it hasn't done with me yet, so I thank you for that. And but so yeah, Vintage Clarets I thought would run a good race, but the one I'm going to go with a big price is Manila Scouse for Tim Easterby. I thought he did really well to finish 11th and 21 here last time out because he was drawn to stall 19. Before that, he ran a fair race at Chester, finishing 6th. And yeah, he's kind of like typical Tim Easterby. He takes a few runs perhaps before hitting peak form. So Manila Scouse from stall 5's got some good York form as well. So 16 to 1 seems fair each way, particularly if you can get that extra place.
Yeah, with the 4 places on offer as well. Another each way plus race with BetMGM 16 to 1 Manila Scouse, but also a good mention for Vintage Claret at 8. But main play Manila Scouse. So, Matthew, where were you looking for the draw? Hopefully, it's now going to fall in line with what Andrew was just saying.
Yeah, I'm slightly. Well, my original selection was Manila Scouse, and the form that Andrew's in, I am slightly regretting not putting him up now, especially given both these wins have come when dropping back down in distance as well after defeat of 6 furlongs. But I very naively passed him over for Thunderbear, who Andrew Lord negated anyways. But anyway, yeah, it's been dropped £3 for finishing beaten 5th at Bath on a very heavy ground last time out. I thought it was not the most strongest of rides, bit of a target on that one. But the form's worked out. The form's worked out so well. Like the 4th one and fared well in listed company since. The 3rd was second behind Dark 30 at Newmarket. Then won next time out. 6th one at Goodwood next time out. Had the 9th in second there. The 8th was beaten Lincoln Group 3 company. So the form from that Bath race worked out really well. And I think the angle here is the visor goes back on as well. Only won once when making all at Fairy House last season. I think it was last season. And so I just wonder whether a low draw in 3, better ground to suit, ping the lids from the front in the visor and go well. Yeah, we've seen it at York, not last week, week before. Everything was coming up the far side as well. I know kind of towards as the year goes on, they can come on the stand side, but I think for now it's best to stick with those drawn low, and I think there'll be Thunderbear from the front.
Well, real fans of the show will be cheering you on, though, Matty, more so than Andrew's selection then in here, because Thunderbear is one of our unofficial mascots, of course. So great to see that Jack Davison is taking this lad across. And Jack Davison had a nice winner at Colt the other day as well, didn't he? But 25 to 1. Come on, the team mascot. Right, we're heading back to Haydock now for the 3 o'clock. This is the new Boston Handicap. A 0 to 90 contest for 4-year-olds and over 7 furlongs. English Oak has been well supported here, Matty. Then we've got Zip in next. But to be fair, these are fairly condensed in the market.
Yeah, cannot for the life of me back Zip. Lost plenty on him before, unfortunately. I mean, it will travel well on soft ground. He'll love the ground, but he'll travel well and he'll just get beaten by half a length, I'm hoping, by Metabolt, who fared no chance when backed into favourite Chester last time out. Held up from a wide draw, was last on the turn, lost a shoe, but came on widest of all when the winner, I forgot what the one's called, Divine Libra, drawn wide as well, but kind of went up with the inside more towards the inner. It's obviously the favourite around Chester. Dropped a pound from behind. Dropped a pound from that run. And it was behind Crackshot when giving him £8 as well. That reads well now, given it's rated £10 higher. Night of Thunder as well, so the ground should suit. It has not been raced on officially heavy ground yet. So yeah, Metabolt for me around 5 to 1.
Metabolt, course and distance winner to get back to that at 5 to 1 from Matty. Andrew, who'd you like?
It's easy to say who I don't like. English Oak, I thought was likely to be over a bet again. He's won just a first novice, scraping home by a head from 6 starts. And strangely, the horse he beat that day, I think, was trained by Roger Varon at this time. And then he's ended up being sold for 80 grand and joining Ed Walker, who trains English Oak. I think the last time we saw him, he was beaten off 68 or something like that. So it wasn't much of a race. He's only 14 to 1 for the Wokingham. It's interesting that his best effort came behind Rohan over 6 furlongs at Ascot last season. So maybe I think rather than this 7 furlongs in a smallish field, he wants to go back to 6 in a strongly run race. So I'd like to see him beaten here, and then maybe even consider just backing him each way for the Wokingham. Persuasion, I thought, needed good or faster going. I thought Zip's a solid place point inclusion, but like Matty said, there's an awful lot of seconds in those form figures, more so than ones. The only one I could half be interested in backing for the price of a lottery ticket only, one for the bingo card, is Abduction. You could argue that he doesn't peak until later in the season. He's best at air, but I think the key is he just needs 7 furlongs on a turning track. And when he gets it, he's got a damn good record. Now, He's going to be reliant on a good pace. Hopefully Zip will do that. 7 furlongs at Ascot. The Victoria Cup was no good to him last time out. He disappointed at right-handed Musselburgh the time before that. But the last time he went 7 on a left-handed track, he won in Class 2 company at Wolverhampton in October. Now, he'd never won before above Class 4 company, above Class 3, sorry, I should say, before that. So you could argue that even at the age of 6, he's still improving. So if he can transfer that back to turf, then Abduction could go well at a price. Probably won't see the best of him until he goes back to air, but for the sake of a little bit each way, 20 to 1 Abduction will do.
As the outsider of the field, again, that feels like it's been a little bit of a habit then. And for Jim Goldie Yard, they're ticking along nicely at present as well. So the outsider of the field then for Andrew at Haydock. Now we switch back to York again for the 320. This is for Group 3 Bronte Fillies Stakes for the 4-year-olds and over a mile 6. 3 to 1 the field this time, Andrew. Loads to go at though in here. So I mean, again, this is tricky.
Yeah, I thought this must be a mistake because this looks like a jumps race. You've got Henry de Bromhead, Jessica Harrington, Nikki Henderson, Marie's Rock, and a fascinating runner here. I didn't have a strong opinion. I have to admit, I've not done a great deal of work on this race, but I was drawn at first glance to River of Stars for Rafe Beckett, who, of course, was a winner of this Derry race first time up last season, albeit just by a short head. So as long as the ground's on the quick side, still River of Stars for me. Very tentative though.
Very tentative then, fair enough. But yeah, it's like a dual purpose race then, Massey. And as Andrew said there, Marie's Rock and exactly what to expect her switching now to the flat at the age of 9 and what her future aspirations are going to be. But in terms of this race itself though, where are we looking?
Yeah, similar thoughts to Andrew. No very strong opinion. I think the market doesn't quite know how to price this one up either. I think you've got Gadia Rose wasn't its favourite. Not entirely sure she'll appreciate 1 mile 6. Was also well beaten in the Music Over last season. 8th of 8th. Yeah, it's a strange one. I think River of Stars should go well again. Imagine this has been the target all winter. Won this last time out on debut, beating the 112 rated Mimikyu. I think she was only rated 90 at the time. £2 clearing rating is probably going to be hard to beat. And I think a lot of us always have a sentimental savour on Marie's Walk, won't we? Maybe not sentiment though. I mean, she's Nikki Henderson's record at York: 3 wins, 7 places from 25 starts. You'd have made £11 by backing them to £1 stake. And then she's the bumper winner. She's a half sister to Arcadian Sunrise, who was last seen finishing the 3rd to Colt in the Ascot Stakes over 2 mile 4. So there's no. I know it's always hard to kind of judge how these national hunt horses are going to be in the flat, but she's the pedigree suggests she might go well. So I think I'll have a half a saver on Marie's Rock, but River of Stars will be the main selection.
Okay, then the pair of you to agreeing to a tentative extent there, I guess, and at least on 50% off that with River of Stars here. But nice that I say 16 to 1 Marie's Rock then for the sentimental purposes that we like a lot. Right, the 330 at Haydock, 0 to 100 handicap, 4-year-olds and over 2 miles. So I mean, we talk about dual purpose horses and we talk about a jumps race on the flat then, Matty. Well, we've got another one here.
Yeah. One of them races which you can imagine is just going to be absolute slow motion slog, can't you?
Yeah.
Just, a bunch of stayers on every ground at Haydock. I mean, what more could you want? What more could you want? Cerulean Getaway won this race off £4 higher last season, but that was on good to firm ground. Not got much form on soft, and you kind of think he's been out of form, although Ozzie Murphy is booked this time. Yeah, no strong opinion, but I did like Zimmerman, dual course winner, Rebels in the Mud. £2 below that last win, which came over course and distance, and should have come on for his rip in the 4th when second in a small field of 6. Probably wouldn't have suited. So again, a tentative selection, but if you had to give me one, it'd be Zimmerman.
Zimmerman at 10 to 1. Then again, another course and distance winner. So at least he's proven himself over this trip. Andrew, sloggers to the 4. Who slogs it out the best?
Yeah, very similar thoughts to Matthew. It's going to sound like I've been copying his notes.
I was starting to get suspicious.
Yeah, the one I want to be against is the current favourite, Law of the Sea, the 3rd in the Chester Cup last time. He's had 9 goes for Ian Williams. He's lost every single one. He was 2 to 1 favourite for this race last year. They went pretty steadily that day, and Cerulean Getaway made all, and Law of the Sea sat in second, had every chance and still couldn't win. I don't understand why you'd want to take 4-1 about a horse like that in what looks like being a more strongly run race this time around, because you've got York Kindness in there as well, who I think will perhaps try and put more pace to the race than he did at York last time out in the Chester Cup consolation. So I kept looking at Zimmerman. I mean, the thing with his course form, he's 2 from 3 here, but the wins came in Class 4 and Class 5 company. When he got beat, finishing 8th, it was in a Class 2. This is a weaker Class 2, I suspect. And, you know, he's not won in this sort of level before, but if they go at a good pace, he can plug on into the frame, I think. So I'll go Zimmerman, tentative each way.
You two in a lot of agreements on this. 10-1 then Zimmerman for the pair of you two, and another each way plus race, of course, with BetMGM. 4 places on offer in that one. Now we talk about sloggers. You've slogged it this far, very well done, but we saved the best till last. So this is the 340 at the Curragh, the Group 1 Irish 2,000 guineas for the 3-year-olds over a mile. And Rosalian is the 6-5 favourite currently. River Tiber at 4's unquestionable 13-2, 9-1 bar about the remainder. So Andrew, Rosalian, is he difficult to look away from or not a bet for you?
Yeah, when you first look at this, 6-5 favourite, 8 runners and loads of big price ones. Let's find a sneaky each way one. And given the number of times you get a pace bias at the Curragh, where you get these horses over sort of 7 furlongs and a mile, it can just sort of get rolling from stall 1 and stay there. I did look at the likelihood pace angle, take me to church. But again, the ground looks to have gone against him, so he's probably not good enough either. It's hard to make a case for some of the other outsiders, I thought. I just kept coming back to the 2000 Newmarket 2000 guineas form and Rosalian and Hartem. And I think if I was going to have a bet here, it would be the Hannon pair to finish 1-2, Rosalian to confirm the form with Hartem. They should pay about 10-1 or thereabouts if the 6-5 and 9-1 best prices are still there on Saturday.
Yeah, to basically do what they did last time out, but of course without notable speech getting in the way of the pair of those two and winning the 2,000 guineas at Newmarket. But Rosalian and Hartem, the two Hannon runners, it's Matty, I mean, it's great to see these two going over, and that's the way that Andrew would be playing this. But what about yourself?
Yeah, I mean, we say the best race till last, but it's a poor renewal, isn't it? It's not something you can.
Thanks, Matty. Thanks.
It's not something you got to, it'd be a long watch night TV on Saturday, won't it? But you'd be lucky if you don't turn this one off. Rosalian, yeah, I'm not entirely sure. I mean, on the bare form of things, he should win, but it's just concerned. They were talking him up as the best thing since sliced bread, weren't they? And they kind of downplayed Hartem's win in the Craven Stakes and said, "Oh, Rosalian's been working all over this one." And I thought, well, he was only beaten a length and a half by his stablemate. But to what extent? To what extent is Rosalian a better horse than Hartem? Has Hartem improved? Has Rosalian not taken him? Not improved. I'm not entirely sure he's a brilliant favourite. River Tiber, I'm not entirely sure if he'll step up. If he'll need the run, plenty of Brian horses out done this season. Again, same with unquestionable Mountain Bear, and the one I kept coming back to, which I'm fairly confident will run very well, is St. Church, who won the same handicap that at Naas that Paddington did en route to this race last season, and he only posted an RPR of only £4 lower. His sire Church won the race in 2017. Dan won over a mile, sort of stamina in the pedigree, and he's also Dan's a good to firm winner. So I know his best forms come on soft. I wonder whether the step and trip on good ground will improve him. And I think at 66-1, the ranked outsider, when there's question marks about all the others, is insulting.
Oh, you're a Jack W. Davison fanboy then this weekend, it looks like, but across the Irish Sea. So take me to church, but also, of course, deciding with Thunder Bear at York then earlier on as well. But yeah, I mean, are you a Hosier fan? Great name, this, Matty.
Double land.
Yeah, there you go. But yeah, they're great name though for that. But no, looking forward to the Irish 2,000 guineas all the same. Right, that is everything from the ITV scheduled races. Pretty much every single race on Saturday that we've covered. But Matthew, I'll go back to you. Anything from anywhere else?
Nothing elsewhere. I'll be at York, so I'll just back all the low drawn runners and hope for the best.
And hope for the best. Nicely done. We'll wait to see how that transpires then. Andrew?
Yeah, got 4 at Chester, 3 at Carmel, 6 at Swordsman, 2 at Windsor. I just want to skip quickly.
Pure lies. Pure lies.
No, absolutely nothing.
Wonderful. Right, Andrew, your nap then, please, is what I require.
Oh, I should have known you were going to do that to me. Let's
Oh, it's not
go,
even a joke either.
let's go to the opener at Goodwood at Haddock, the Silver Bowl. I'll go for Cerulean Bay.
Okay, a nice price again. Then napping after the 33-1 nap last week. Hopefully another one then for Andrew. Matty, your nap, please.
Yeah, I'll raise the 33-1, double it, and go with the Take Me to Church at 66-1.
Oh, okay. Take Me to Church, 66-1 in the Irish 2000 guineas. Right, double a quits literally then for Matty bringing him in. I'm going to be really boring then. I'm just going to go for Vadream and hopefully that the ground really suits her and that the rain continues to, well, not even continues to fall, just stays level off then at Haydock in the Group 2 Temple 6 at 150. Right, that's everything from us on this bumper edition of Weekend Watch. So big thank you to the lads for all of their hard work. Big thank you to you at home for watching. To our sponsors, BetMGM. Enjoy the action this weekend and we'll speak to you again next week.